Hey kids, Dad here. It is a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. It is 12:19 p.m., which means I get to see you guys in 4 hours, 21 minutes. 4 hours, 21 minutes. I can't wait. So today's going to be a great day. And I thought I would talk a little bit today about honesty, about being honest. And I'm going to use an example. So yesterday, here at Bravo Zulu House, I had to kick out a resident. As you kids may have gathered, if you've been watching some of these videos someday, what Dad's doing here at Bravo Zulu House is there's residents, veterans, who go into like the VA or a treatment center for like 30 days, 60 days, something like that. And then afterwards, they're free of using drugs and alcohol. And then they come here to live here, and they're basically adults, right? It's like a normal house with roommates. But the rule, as I think you kids hopefully understand by now, is nobody's allowed to drink alcohol or use drugs. And not allowed in the house, you're not allowed to use it outside the house, nothing. So everybody here has to be what's called sober. And then, of course, they do some therapy for PTSD, some things like that, but they work on learning how to live sober without drugs and alcohol, right? So we had a guy come in early April. He'd been here about 3 weeks, and he was an older guy, and he had some issues with court, so the courts kind of encouraged him to come here. The courts were supportive of him coming here because the courts thought maybe being here would be good for him as opposed to him going to jail or something else. So he was here for 3 weeks. And my spidey senses kind of tingled with this guy. I wasn't too sure about this guy. Something felt a little bit off about him. Sure enough, on Sunday, while I'm out on the dirt roads going for my 10-mile run, I see him go zipping past me the opposite direction about 50 miles an hour on an e-bike. He took that e-bike up it's about a 45-minute drive up to Mankato. So, I didn't see him again Sunday, and he didn't come back Sunday night, which is kind of a red flag, right? If the guys are going to leave for an overnight, they're supposed to let me know where they're going so we know where they are in case something happens to them or whatever. So he didn't say nothing, but he didn't come back Sunday night. So then some people start texting him, calling him, saying, "Hey, David, are you alive? What's going on?" And on Monday, he mentioned that he was in Mankato. He made it up to Mankato on that e-bike, but the e-bike broke down on him and this, that, and the other thing. And then he disappeared all day Tuesday. Didn't respond to anybody. Finally, yesterday, he turns up. He calls one of the case manager here at the house, and the case manager picks him up in Mankato and brings him back down here. And I look at him, and I asked him, because I was standing out the front door. I had a little cup and a little breathalyzer, something to blow into, will tell me if he drank alcohol, and a cup for him to pee in, will tell me if he's used any one of 12 different drugs. So I had both those. I'm like, all right, here's your chance, so-and-so. Have you used any substances that I'm going to find out about here that you'd like me to know about? And he said, yep, I drank a bunch of beers and I smoked some marijuana. And I said, oh, well, I can't let you come back in the house then. So he had to we packed a bag for him, some clothes. I even put some food in it for him. Don't want him to go hungry. And the case manager took him back up to Mankato. And ultimately, what he does next is to be determined. But here's the thing. Here's the moral of the story. Here's why I tell you this story. If he had told me, no, I didn't do anything, and then I found out he was lying by giving him those tests, he could have never come back here. I would have never approved him coming back, because that tells me not only does he have a problem with drugs and alcohol, but he's a liar. And if you're going to lie to me, I can't help you at all. But this guy was honest. He was honest. He told the truth. He said, yep. And he told me what he did. And I told him back, honestly, I said, well, we'll figure out the next steps, but you can't come back in the house today. So now he has a couple options. Now we can work with him. Because he has the capacity to be honest, because he's shown he's able to be honest, he has hope. So if he goes back to the VA, if he does like a 30-day treatment center kind of thing, I would let him come back here. I'm not just going to let him come back here today or tomorrow or the next day. But if he goes and does another 30-day thing where he goes into a treatment center for 30 days and learns and gets sober, gets some time and learns a program, I'd welcome him back here for a second chance to try and put that program into practice in his day-to-day life here. So again, the moral of the story, kids, as far as I'm concerned, and so far as I will always be concerned, being honest is difficult, right? It's scary because you might get in trouble. We have fears. We're afraid. If we're honest, people might find something out that I don't want them to know. Or they might get mad. Or I might get in trouble. Being dishonest tends to be fear-driven in my experience. But I can promise you kids here and now, raise my right hand to God. If you're honest with me, I can always help you. And there's always options. And that doesn't mean there's not consequences, but I can help you navigate those consequences, right? Just like this resident who, he was honest about drinking alcohol and smoking some marijuana. So there's consequences. I can't let him back in the house. But you know what? He wasn't coming back in the house anyways. Because the second he peed in that cup and blew in that breathalyzer, I would have known. I would have known the truth. So he wasn't getting in the house either way. Because he did that thing. But because he was honest, he's got a chance to come back. So, hope you kids can trust me down the road. And know if you come to me with any issue, any problem, I can only help you if you're honest. And that's something I try and practice myself. I do not believe I have told a lie in the last year and a half to anybody. So, and I reflect on that daily. It's scary. It's challenging. It's hard. Sometimes you start to say something. Whoa. Nope. That's not. Nope. Why was my instinct to not tell the truth, to not be honest? You got to catch yourself sometimes. It takes practice. But I know you kids have great hearts. I love you. Can't wait to see you in 4 hours, 33 minutes. We'll talk soon.